tell us a little bit about what the farm means to you? How did you come to get it? What has your life been like on the farm? I'm going to leave it open-ended and let you tell us why you think this farm's so special.
Okay. First of all, I'm going on 91 years old, and my father and mother raised us next door, and my mother made the farm principally to me, and allocated several lots to some of my other brothers and sisters. Why they chose not to divide it up evenly was based on a fact that my daddy always said that he, in buying this farm, he hoped that it would always be maintained as a family farm to support people, well, mainly to support our family. On this farm, there were 8 children that my mother and father produced, and we had hogs we killed every year. We had a strong garden that contained corn. We used corn to feed the animals here on the farm, and also, surprisingly, my dad took corn to Grimes Mill for us to have cornmeal.
Wow.
For cornbread.
Yeah.
And in other words, at the mill, they would take out, it's the name for it, barter. They would take so much corn and give you back so much cornmeal. Free, and this was completely free, of course. Yes. And then in the way of beans, we had my mother would prolifically so to it that we had plenty of beans to carry us for 1 year until the next season. Beans, apples. Wait a minute. Let me go down the line here. Cucumbers, pumpkin, peanuts. We raised peanuts by the bushels.
Wow.
And had enough to survive until the next season. And actually, the next season, my mother would parch peanuts in the stove, and we would fill our pockets full of peanuts and go to school. And had peanuts going to school. Oh yeah, at school, if the teacher didn't catch up with us, and peanuts eaten back when we returned home. Hog killing time. I mean, my dad always killed at least two hogs every year at the end of the year when the weather became cold. Enough meat to survive the whole year until next killing time. Sweet potatoes, we had sweet potatoes galore. Ice potatoes, we produced ice potatoes enough to carry us through the whole season. We had fruit trees here located right at this spot where this house is located. We had, I remember the famous horse apple, grapes, and peaches. We had peaches. We just had everything. In other words, we were really millionaire poor. Actually, I mean, and we principally came up during those Depression years. And my mother produced chickens, and every Saturday evening, it was my job to wring a chicken's neck, and for Sunday. And we just prolifically, in a way, we heard about the Depression, but never suffered. So actually, we were blessed. I have to really be frank with you and tell you that we were actually blessed for that kind of opportunity. And it was all because of the basic philosophy of my mother and father putting us on the farm. My daddy worked at the Spencer shop, making, as I recall, when I was a boy, I believe it was $3.50 a day. But that gave us that took care of our basic needs as poor, blue-collar, working people.
And there were 8 children?
There were 8 children,
so
yeah.
A total of 10 people grew up being supported by this farm.
Yeah. Now, you would say, well, now, but when your parents passed, how did they didn't split the farm up into 8 pieces. Well, my dad readily saw through the folly of that, because he said if I were to divide this farm up into 8 pieces after we passed, it would be good to nobody. So as luck would have it, I might tell you this, that they owned as much land in Surrey County. As a matter of fact, my mother and father were born in Surrey County. And
on a farm?
On the farm, oh yeah, tobacco farm. They were tobacco raisers, completely. Of course, there's a long history behind that. I might tell you that. Well, during the post-slave period, I'm sure you're all familiar with the history. My grandfather, or at least my father's father, was on the Powder Mountain, and he I know you know what his color was. So I don't know how inherited, I don't know how, but anyway, they were on the farm. They owned a small farm themselves, and raised tobacco, and it proved to be very very profitable. But my mother and father did not want to stay on the farm because of the other children, and so my father had to move out and find a job elsewhere, because here again, the family size exceeding the need exceeded the farm area. So it's just a long story attached to that.
So he moved to Spencer, started working at Spencer shop.
Spencer Railroad shop.
He went out looking for a farm, and that's how he.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. Listen, my daddy saw immediately, as the family increased, he saw the need that he need to find a small farm, and we are exactly about 3 miles from the Southern Railway shop, and the house looked like the tobacco row house that you saw in the movie that we lived in, but over the years my daddy improved it to what it looks like now, and raised the family. And let me tell you this. I often look back and think about how they were so successful. There are some basic principles that my mother and father stood by or recognized. Was righteousness. They recognized the value of work, integrity, dependability. All of those elements were embedded in my mother and father. And even though I have not lived a perfect life, but those values instilled in me to try the best I can and could to live a life worthwhile. And I owe it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm riding the shoulders of my parents.